Hey guys, I posted earlier about the oils I'm using today during the full moon for October 1st, and some people asked me why, and I wanted to just explain that to you, why I use certain oils on full moons. Well, first of all, the first thing I do is I go to my oil shelf and I pick out oils that call to me. So that may sound wishy-washy to you, but as you become more and more familiar with essential oils, you just start to trust your intuition a whole lot more. And so I just pick things out. So why did I choose the ones that I chose today? I don't know. My intuition said, take this, 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 and this. So I'll tell you a little bit about the ones that I chose. Magnolia, black spruce, rose, Cary Sage, and blue Tansy. So I have 5 that I'm working with. Today and tonight, I'm doing some journaling. I have a super tractor journal. I'll listen to some meditation this evening. And for me, a full moon is a time of reflecting, of letting go and moving forward. So I'll set some intentions as well. So let me tell you a little bit about these oils and where I put them. And again, I just trusted my intuition as what do I need right now? And they may be the same for you or it may be different. And what I find is that people are pretty fascinated with the energetic and emotional impact of essential oils. And I'm obviously not talking about Walmart oils here. So black spruce is the first one that popped into my mind. This oil is an oil of stability. So I put a drop in my hands, I rub them together, and then I put them on the bottom of my feet. It's an oil of grounding, stability, balance. It teaches the body how to conserve energy. And I took some notes because usually when I choose an oil, I'm like, ooh, I wonder why I chose that. So I opened up the Essential Oils and Emotions book after I chose the oils. Black spruce can teach you how to flow with your energies and rhythms. So with things being all over the place right now, it's really important for us to pay attention to what our bodies need. It's an oil that helps us deal with fear. It helps us persevere through life's storms. So I think everyone could use black spruce right now. Helps us gain clarity and energetically become more balanced. Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. So black spruce is the first oil I chose. And again, for this full moon, I put it on the bottom of my feet. And this is an oil I use pretty consistently on the bottom of my feet for emotional stability and grounding. And if you think of a spruce tree and how steady and solid they are, just that's how they work energetically and emotionally as well. The second oil that called to me was Cary Sage. And this is an oil of vision and clarity. So for me, when I think of vision and clarity and how I want to move forward with my life, I just put a drop on my hands and I put it on my third eye, okay? Right there in the middle of the forehead. You could put a drop on the top of your head, your crown as well, over your heart center, whatever calls to you. And Cary Sage helps us have courage to see the truth. It helps us to discern more. And there's so much going on right now that discernment is a very important thing that we have to be working on each and every day. Cary Sage helps us dispel darkness and remain open to new ideas, new perspectives, and new possibilities. I've done a lot of work over the summer, and this next season for me is all about moving forward with more alignment and discernment and just being clear about who I want to work with and how I want the future to look. It helps us with intuition and with spiritual clarity and open-mindedness. So that is Cary Sage, the second oil that I chose, and I put it on right here on my forehead. The third oil that popped out to me was Magnolia. This is a touch roller, and immediately I know this is a feminine oil. It's so lovely. I rolled it on the inside of my arms. You're gonna ask why? I don't know. I just rolled it there. It was like, roll me here, but you could also roll it on the heart center, side of neck, inside of wrists. Those are great places for Magnolia, and it is the oil of compassion. We should all be layering on a lot more compassion for ourselves, for the people around us, for the people throughout the world. Everyone is trying to just make their way, and I hope in a way that, they're doing their best. So it helps us to treat one another with mercy and compassion, live in an interconnected way, and live or aspire to live in more harmony. It helps us to nurture our feminine side, and if you have some deep wounds, some core wounds, Magnolia is an essential oil that can help support healing on a soul level for any of these deep wounds that you might be carrying that may even be subconscious, okay? It encourages empathy in yourself and towards others. And one of the lines that I thought I needed to read out to you from the emotions book is that Magnolia, when individuals view themselves as separate from others, which is what social media is trying to make us do right now, and mainstream media, not social media, mainstream, well, both, they begin to lose the thread that weaves humanity together and to disregard the outcomes of the people they have detached themselves from. So pitting people against one another creates separateness, and we lose that compassion. So Magnolia is an oil of kindness, of connection, and of compassion. And again, for this full moon, I rolled it on the inside of my arms. It's a beautiful oil to like rub through your hair too. Now, rose is the next oil I chose. You can get this in a touch, but rose is the oil of divine love. Love, 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 okay? We want to, when we're filled with fear, we want to try to return back to love. We want to love ourselves. We want to love people around us, and even think of more of a global love feeling to start to live in more harmony. It's a powerful healer of the heart. So today I put it over my heart, but I also put it in the leftover in my hands, and I inhaled and breathed it in for a nice 20 seconds or so. It's such a beautiful, beautiful aroma. And rose also helps us with authenticity and, again, like alignment. It helps us with heart openness. This is an oil that you might choose to use when you are working in spiritual work, or if you are meditating. So you can roll it on the bottom of your feet, or again, heart center, or even forehead are good places for rose. It's such a beauty. It's the queen. Okay, the last one that popped out to me tonight for the full moon is blue tansy, and this is the oil of inspired action. I love this oil. I love it on the solar plexus. You'll often, well, you won't see me put it there, but if you saw me in a bathing suit, I often have a blue dot right there, or a little bit lower below the belly button, and on the bottom of the big toe, and between the first and second toes, like a little bit farther back on the foot. It's a reflexology point, or a meridian, acupuncture point, whatever it is. And this oil of inspired action helps us to bust through things that are holding us back, and limits and procrastination, and helps us to take more initiative for things that we know we should be doing. And I'm not sure about you guys, but when I feel overwhelmed, I often get stuck. I often feel like paralyzed by all the things I want to do or have to do. And right now in this season of transition with homeschooling and working from home and trying to maintain balance and keep in touch with what's going on in the world, sometimes you can get overwhelmed and stuck. So blue tansy is the oil of inspired action, and it helps us to manifest our passion into more action. And I'm super passionate and love what I do, so being held back by anything, that's just not what I want to be. And if you've ever done any of the strengths tests by Gallup, then hey Nisha, I am an activator. That's my number one strength. So blue tansy and activation and moving forward, those are like tight like this, interconnected. So blue tansy also helps us to remain purposeful and responsible for what we're doing. So those are the 5 oils that called to me on my wall today. Like I said, I didn't like intentionally, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna choose this one. It was like, what's there? What do I want? And then I'm always curious, why did I pull this oil? And why did I feel inspired to use it? So back again, black spruce, Cary Sage, Magnolia, Rose, and Blue Tansy. And when I say goodbye here, I am gonna go ahead and write some more intentions in my journal, listen to some meditation, and move on from there. So I hope that's helpful for you, learning a little bit about the emotional or energetic uses behind a few of the different oils. If you have any questions, let me know. And I hope this inspired you to maybe go ahead and write down some intentions or some things that you want to release and let go from this last month. All right, everyone, have a really good night.